Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to another live trading session. Good morning. Hey, hey, hello guys. Morning. Also, 1 second, let me post on Discord. Hello, hello, hello. All right, alrighty guys. Well, I think we can slowly start it. I wanted to give it like 1 more minute so everyone can hop up and I don't have to recap it, let's say. And then we can start. Let's give it 1 more minute to finish the so-called administrative matters. What I'm asking from you, please go retweet and comment, put a comment because it helps a lot with the algorithm. And then we can start. All right. Also, if you want any chart request, just put it in the comments right there. And I will take it from there. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I increased the microphone volume a bit. I increased it right now. All right. Okay. So, how are you guys? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We have 60 people. I think we can slowly start. Yeah. Like, comment. Let's go. So, what do we have here on my screen? I'm going to start with the setups that I took, and then we can frame the setups that I'm expecting next. Well, as you see, I took one loss here, and one loss here. Yeah. Say, well, 3 losses, and then I took one win here, partial win here because it was a break even. Yeah, another winning trade here, another winning trade here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 wins and 3 losses. Not great, not terrible, but the risk to reward is quite good on the other side. Okay, I think I'll have to make a folder, played setups, and see what we can play next. I'm going to, so you can learn. I'm going to frame everything from scratch, like you are already used to. All right? Okay. That's why I wanted to wait a little bit so people can maybe ask questions live and stuff like that. Okay. So, Bitcoin, it was pretty profitable to play left and right, but let's go on the monthly candle. Yeah. So, what do we have here? Well, basically, we have a potential SFP of the previous month high, depending on how we close in 2 months, in 2 days, sorry. We have a big supply. It's an area where supply exceeds demand, meaning that most likely the sellers are going to aggressively come back in. And we also have a violation of the 1 month FEG. In my books, there is a saying that I'm constantly explaining to my students that you never counter trade a high time frame fair value gap. And if you are in these markets for long enough, you might know what that means. You never counter trade a high time frame fair value gap. And we can observe already that we have a monthly FEG here and we had a monthly FEG here, right? So for me, this is a non-negotiable area where I'm looking for shorts. Don't care what anyone says. I'll look for shorts here. Going on the weekly time frame, yeah, you can see we had five nice, 4 nice bullish momentum weeks. Indeed, we have some sort of structurally W, but for me it's not sufficient because I always tell you when I want to see a double bottom structure, I want to see a displacement of the neckline, meaning that I want to see a fair value gap here. We don't have one. There is absolutely no FEG. That means there is no sign of strength. All right. Okay. Well, then what should we do first, or what would I do first, and what I'm looking forward next? Um, the first FEG that I see on Bitcoin, it's around here, and it's also an area which previously acted like a pretty nice support at 70,200. But before that, I have a point of interest, a main point of interest here at the previous week low, and this area at 73,653. So that area I'm expecting a little bounce. That's why on a 1 hour time frame, let's say, I'll not look for longs. Yeah, I'll not look for any longs. And as you see here on the setups that I took, yeah, short, 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 short. Yeah, I took a stop loss here, not a problem, but look at this trade here. Yeah, this is a 5 minute trade which I posted on VIP. And I even explained on Twitter that I'm taking short. I said, well, I'm short. 6.9R, and this one sits at 5.3R. So you tell me if it's worth taking some shots at the shorts. Go back on daily, and what do we see here? And what I'm expecting first. So next, sorry. So I was explaining that however you put it, I cannot be bullish on how the market looks here. I cannot be bullish when market just it's underneath bearish retesting a previous area of resistance into a monthly FEG. Yeah, I think we have a like 3 minutes long here. Let me check. Yeah, potentially 3 drives. 1, 2, 3. I bet PJ already took it. Yeah. But if you want to take something like this, be sure you are fast. And use proper risk management. The momentum is still to the downside. So for example, when it hits about 61.8, I'll make sure I'll take some partials. Managed to take it. I saw PJ posting it 3 minutes ago. Okay, let's go back on. Let's put this one also on the Monday low. Monday SFB. All right, let's go back on the daily. So what I explained in the last week is that I cannot get bullish here. I saw all my timeline calling for breakouts, okay, whatever. There is a thesis where we can see a breakout indeed. And what I would like to see from that main thesis is that we basically, if we get this Gann range here and we just double it down and we just trade the ranges because that's what market is doing actually, you will see that we can double it and price can, not that one, yeah, this one. So let's see that we spoke about this range here and let's double it down. You can see market will fall exactly in the 61.8 at 84,000. So indeed there is a probability for the market to go there as in anything. But do I look for longs here with targeting that area? No, because it's way too risky and the risk to reward is not there. So if you don't have a proper risk to reward ratio and you know that the reward is not there, why would you still seek to go for a position that doesn't reward you enough? That's one of my main questions that I see. See a lot of people, they have absolutely no idea about this psychological calculations and technical calculations about risk to reward ratio. I was also looking, this one has more time, but previously I saw the price respected pretty much this one. So we have a breakdown with a 4-hour candle. We have a breakdown of this uptrend momentum. And that makes me think, this is the monthly level, which I highlighted, 73,000. That makes me think if that there is a probability for the price to retest 73,000 and take it as support. Yeah, retested 38.2 from the main swing low. There you go. And if we take the last pivot low here to this one, you'll see it's exactly in the 61.8. So any SFP of this equal lows will make me long on 1 hour, 4-hour time frame. Why? Because technically speaking, pivot low, pivot high, pivot low, higher high, yeah, and basically that one shouldn't be invalidated. We can have a intermediate swing failure, like something brief and then reclaim. Yeah, that can happen. So I'll look for longs around here, something like this, and then target maybe the GP of the short reload zone, something like this. Uh, Now came into my mind the fact that yeah, indeed we created a higher high here, but based on structure, that was a swing failure pattern. It's not necessarily a continuation, like a break of structure. So it's not that straightforward. Are you speaking? Well, you guys can't hear me? Ah, someone was saying that he cannot hear me. I do think you can hear me. I checked it out and you can hear me. Well, I want to double check, guys. I want to be sure you can hear me. Yeah, all good. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I'll try to look for a long around here and then get back to the short side because as we can see, this area it's already flipped as resistance. As long as we close 1 hour candle below, most likely the price will just reject. And that's why I said if we go on 5 minutes, you will see, yeah, even that I took this 5 minutes long, I'm looking for a rejection here, around here. Yeah, so I still think that it's a downtrend and it's the price is weak. Okay, so everyone hears me, that's fine. That would be the first. Uh, I don't like having too much. There we go. Now, the downtrend channel, indeed, we have a pivot high. We're making a lower low, but we need a lower high. So somewhere around here, the price will most likely look for a potential bounce. So it can create a lower high so we can get that downtrend channel that we can trade. Until then, I'll stick with the shorts, which I took here at the SFP and on the 5 minutes M top, which we had. Now, if we look a little bit from a higher highs perspective, uh, there is still a chance for a bounce here before we hit the previous week low. There is still a chance for the price to hit this FEG. There you go. Hit the FEG and the value area low have a intermediate time frame like 30 minutes, 1 hour long here, and then target POC and then value area high. So there is a probability for a play here like that. Yeah. So let's look at both of them. I'll keep them actually, and then so I can post them. I'm not sure if I would go necessarily with a limit order, not with such a tight stop loss. I would look for some order flow confirmations first for some divergence, and then maybe I would take the trades. But they are pretty good. And then if I'm going to look again for short trades, definitely you can see we have an upward week here, bearish retest, and I would look for the SFP of this one. In the golden pocket. For R, 5R doesn't look bad for me. Let me pause them because I will lose the post usually. I don't know how I do it. Bitcoin setups. Few longs, channel low, channel lows plus PP plus value area low. And the next one, it's actually a previous week low SFP. Reclaim on 5-15 minutes. And the short, you can actually increase the risk to reward here if you are sharp enough. Let's say that you're a day trader and you would wait for a session volume session opening. Like let's say you will wait for the New York session and you see the manipulation at the highs on New York session, also confluence with a bearish retest on S&P, let's say, and that would be a pretty good bias for taking a 5 minutes confirmation trade, and actually you increase the risk to reward from a okayish one, for risk to reward is not bad, to a really nice one. You can end up with a 10 risk to reward ratio. So that reclaim has to do can increase a lot the risk to reward. Well, auto, you're on the daily time frame, but depending if you trade that one, you can see we have a previous day high, what you sent me. So on 5 minutes, it can be red like weakness, but on high time frame, definitely no. On daily time frame, no. Okay, so we have the setups. I'm going to put them in the folder because it's getting messy already. I took another long here, as I explained earlier, and I'm going to make it risk-free here at this SFP. It was at entry when we started the live. All right. Can you hear me? Well, nothing that I can do. So that would be this area, this, you can see, I mean, a lot of people, they are saying they cannot make money, but, and I don't know, they are waiting for monthly open or previous month low. But you can see that you can take so many trades, and not to mention this trades that I just framed. If you look at the previous one, look at the amount of trades I took in this little range. Yeah, I took a short here, 2 to 1 is to your profits booked. I took a loss here, -1, so net profit about 0.5%. Then I took another short here, let's say break even. I took another loss here, so I took 2 losses, one take profit, one break even. And then I took 2 shorts here at the top, which are in very good profits. Then another stop loss, another long with a 2 to 1 booked, and now another long. So you cannot complain about not having setups. It's about not having a proper plan and not respecting the proper risk management. And in the end, what you're doing, or most people are doing, is that they get emotional about trading and they don't effectively trade mechanical. They get really emotional. They start involving bias towards trading and they say, well, why should I long or why should I short? No, risk-free means I took 50% off. Yes, I have two different setups here at the highs. One was based on the double top pattern we created here, the M top, so this was the one. And another one was a different setup, the SFP of the previous one high here. So there are two different setups. As I'm always telling you, there are more ways to skin a cat. SFP and then structure breakdown. And here I had an SFP of this equal highs in the golden pocket, but seems like the market says no, 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 no. And I took the stop loss. Okay, let's go on a higher on 4 hours time frame and okay, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second to put them back in the folder. What's this? Okay, this is for today. That's all right. Put everything there. That's all right. As for a 4 hour time frame, you can see we are approaching the FOMC. Well, not working. What do you want? Ah, you want daily, okay. There you go. So we approach the FOMC 29, that's tomorrow. What I wanted to highlight is that each time it was sort of a pivot area. I don't know if this will be a bottom or a top. You tell me where the risk to reward is. I'm not implying anything, but as I explained earlier, my confluences and my analysis tells me that there is a pretty high probability for the market to do what? not that one, but I would like the pivot low, which created a new high. And you'll see we have pretty good confluences for the price to go here at 70,400. And if we get a local top marked by the FOMC, then market could do this. And that would be 12% retracement. And that's a quite a profitable trade if you ask me. If you manage to take something like this, that's a 20 risk to reward trade. So you risk 1 in order to make 20. That's huge. So that's a asymmetric bet that I would take, and I would put all the time in the line. Now here, definitely, I'll start looking for some longs. I also mentioned that exactly in this area, we have the weekly fair value gap. And we have some breaker zones which we didn't retest it. Okay, let's say that this one requires a deeper retracement. But if you look previously, we have some key zones that price might want to retest. Including this one here. So if you are a daily time frame trader, let's put it like that, there is quite a good probability for a trade like this. And then we can speak about a continuation. But if you're a low time frame trader, then you can take exactly the same short trades that I took here at the top. Quite a good risk to reward. Okay. Let me pause this one also. VIP daily time frame. Okay. Also daily time frame. There is a high probability play here in the same manner. If we get another SFP, which I doubt so, but we might get, this is the play. Let me pause this one too. There you go. I do think that we framed everything on Bitcoin. 5 minutes. And I think partial take profit hit. Oh, actually, it goes with the full take profit. I'll go with the full take profit here. Well, I have too many charts. Yeah, I have way too many charts here. Too many setups. Frame. So trading is hard, yeah? You can see. Trading is hard. No, it's not hard. It's just that most people, they are not trading with a plan. They are not trading mechanical, and they involve a lot of emotions in this process. And that's how you will end up losing money and not making money. Even if I want to clean this, man, it takes some time. Okay, let's put everything back. Not this one, quickly. And then now we can go on and hop on Ethereum to see what do we have. And 61.8 hit, take profit hit. Nice call, PJ. Nice call. 1 second, let me update. There you go. I don't know if anyone managed to take it, but it was a nice trade. There you go. Okay. I took profits from this long. If you want to go further, that's 2.7 R. Now we go on Ethereum. Now we go on Ethereum. Bear with me. Okay. Ethereum. So, if you remember in the weekend, I said that most likely once the price will get on the other side of the trend line, so when the price goes on the other side of the trend line and poke, most likely we'll have a nice bounce. And there we go. Managed to take. I was off the screen, so I took the trade with the stop loss all the way down. I didn't took the little W, but I know some people in Discord in our community took something like this. But I said, okay, I'm driving and I'm not willing to take like tight stop loss trades. So I took this one, 2.5. Then I took a classic. I had a limit short order on a classic shark. Look at the results on the shark side. Yeah. Now we are exactly at the level which I was pointing out last week, if you remember, 2281. Well, but now the things change a little bit because last week I wanted to take a long on this setup here. But I didn't have an entry. That was the issue. I didn't have an entry. But now they swept all the equal lows. And seems like the market wants to hold this level. Idea is that indeed we are looking like market wants to hold, but if we look at the impulsive wave, this is the impulsive wave, all right? This is just corrective. I'm expecting that the same selling pressure which occurred here on this impulsive wave will resume here and it will just send the price lower. So we don't have a bullish market structure shift here. We just have a internal liquidity range. You can see price creating equal lows, equal highs. It's some sort of a, damn it, some sort of a seek and destroy environment until the same selling pressure that we observe here will become back again impulsive and will send the price way lower. So that makes me think that I don't necessarily want to long Ethereum without a trade like we had on Bitcoin. Bitcoin gave a proper Monday low sweep and reclaim, while Ethereum now looks like some sort of SMT with a front run of the previous day low. So I'm all right with not taking the trade here. Okay. But until we get a proper breakdown, we can presume that this range is totally valid and it can be played like a range. So there is nothing wrong in taking longs at the range lows, something like that, and then you target again the highs. Nothing wrong in this aspect. All right, it's totally normal. So the thesis behind the range is that the price most of the times will just be in a ranging environment than in a trending environment, and uh, that means you will want to put risk to reward towards playing the range and not playing the trend. It's very important. All right. So totally valid setup. Um, what would I play with Ethereum? Well, let's do exactly the same thing that I did with Bitcoin, past setups, and let's throw everything there. Okay, and now we have a blank chart. And what do we have here? So if you remember, um, 1 month ago, actually, I was mentioning about this, about the price closing back inside the range, and about the fact that if we do not reclaim with strength this key pivot high here, is 2146, there is a high probability for the price to just react like in a range, meaning that most likely it will reject the range highs, go to mid ranges, and then go to range lows. Yeah, I really don't care about the numbers. I speak from a technical perspective, but I know some people say, well, that means you call Ethereum for 800 bucks. That's crazy. No, it's not crazy. It's how the market works. So as long as we sit above this area, yeah, we can look safely on the upside. Yeah, and we can consider that this area, if it's retested, it will most likely act like a support for our price. So I'll most likely look for some longs here at 2165 if I get any setups. But in the same manner, if we look at the monthly time frame, what do you observe here on Ethereum? It's something different than you would like to see if you're bullish, because we have a previous month high sweep, and you can see the price already confirmed this, not only with 4-hour candles, but with 12-hour candles and with the daily time frame candles. So we are just trading below the previous month high, and we have a double top pattern confirming here. That means there is a pretty high probability for the price to send it, for the price to go all the way back to the opposite direction in looking for the liquidity here in the 78.6. So based on the monthly. And if you use logics, you will see that a monthly bias, it's way stronger for um, for what the price will do than a daily or a 4-hour bias. So in my playbook, if we had a previous month high sweep like we had here, there is a very high probability, more than 80% probability for price just to go back and sweep the lows in the value area low and previous month low. All right, but then there is a different aspect coming in. There is the aspect of time, which is more complex. And we will see that in 2 days we'll close the monthly candle, meaning that we'll have a new monthly candle close. That can save a little bit the situation in a way that we will not see such a deep retracement like 78.6, but the market might actually be happy with an intermediate one at the next previous month low, which will come in 2 days from now. Make sense? And also, there will be a probability, a high probability play that we might take again the high, and there will be a high probability short trade. So as you can see, what I'm trying to imply here is the fact that you never lose a trade in the sense that, oh, damn it, I lost the trade. I don't know what to do. Let's start FOMO. Because if you give it enough time, you will always have setups. You'll always have a setup here, like we had here, for example. Yeah, like we had here at the lows at this area. You will always have setups. It's just your mental unprepared, let's say, or uneducated area where you are just trying to tell yourself, well, I lost it, damn it. I need to FOMO in another trade now. I need to trade now. So trades are forming and it takes time, but you need to have the proper patience for that thing. Man, I'm ranting again. Okay. So Ethereum For the next month, I would take these two trades definitely. These are the high probability trades. Now, if you ask me what trade I would take. Well, basically it's there, low time frame. Yeah, I already framed it. So we wanted to discuss about the higher time frame too. I framed the higher time frame also. Now I uh, I'm showing you also the low time frame ones. Makes sense what I'm trying to explain here? I know it might be difficult for some people because you don't have the proper experience. Here, monthly trades only after monthly in 2 days. Okay. Uh, as for the 1 hour, we can bring up the trades which I was highlighting earlier. We can play the range game. As for the 1 hour, you can easily play the range game here until invalidated. Okay, and we have lots of trades already framed up on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'll need to clean up. I'll clean up and make some nice posts. Uh, yes. Well, yes. What we're doing with the sun is looking very bullish, honestly. It's strong. Uh, but for example, here I had a long trade which was front run, my mistake, but it happens. It's nothing we can do. My point is that as long as the price holds below the previous week high, the probability for it to go back and retest weekend lows, not weekend lows, Friday low, or the previous week low, it's quite high. But I will not try to hunt for long ideas around here. If I get a value area low retracement or maybe POC retracement, I'll try. But for me here is not an area where I would try to look for longs. It's just not for me. And I know a lot of people, I mean the majority, they like to trade something like this, which is nonsense. I repeat it all the time. This is absolutely nonsense, and you make the difference. Yeah, you're risking what, 10% in order to make 1%? It's absolutely no logic. And if you read the article which I posted this week, yesterday, you will understand the psychological uh, issues that you are inflicting when you do mistakes and you accept the mistakes as something positive. All right, you will get your brain used to the fact that something like this is normal and doing mistakes is normal, and that you should do more mistakes in order to generate more profits, and then you will wipe all your portfolio. Uh, yeah, I would look at the golden pocket. We even have a nice gap in the volume here. I would look for a long like that. Okay, I posted this one too. Okay. Now, so we have Bitcoin, we have Ethereum, we have ES. Before going to shitcoins and the setup that I'm framing on shitcoins, let's go on total others and stuff like that. Total. Yesterday, same stuff. In the article, I explained it. Even though we are on the other side of the trend line, I cannot be bullish here. All right. I did mention 2 months ago that I will start looking for bullish scenarios only when we get on the other side of the trend line. All right, we got there, and then I had lots of questions, which are logical questions because that's what I said I'll do. But the thing is that there is no reasoning yet to hunt long trades at a previous supply area where selling pressure has exceeded buying pressure, historically speaking. And we can also observe that 1, 2, 3 candles are rejecting quite aggressively that supply area. And that makes me think that there is a pretty high probability that we do exactly the same thing which I highlighted on Ethereum. With the previous month high sweep, we go for the previous month low. So 2.25, 2.22 trillion, high probability they are on the table for me. This is where the current month low and the previous month low pivot areas are sitting right now. So this is what I see on total. When you're trying to create a plan like this, you need to take into account everything. Yeah, not just uh, Bitcoin, not just total. We have to go further on and investigate. Let's look at total tree, then we'll look at USDT dominance. Total tree, you can see it just sits inside this range. We have a nice bounce, but there's nothing that screams to me bid or stuff like that. So I'm not going to put too much attention towards this one. And the same thing, not going to put too much attention on this one. If we look at USDT dominance, I'm using it quite a lot. All right, a lot of people will say that this is looking bearish. Okay, we have some M tops, that's true. But if we go on a monthly and a weekly basis, you'll see that we are sitting on a high time frame FEG. And even if the price goes here, in that specific moment in time, it will be a bullish retest of this breakout. So, okay, the price will go here. We'll have another pump in Bitcoin, but that will most likely be short-lived. And here, let's say we get a bearish retest, if that happens. But while the price is just holding this area, which as I was highlighting, 7.2020, 7.22, there is a pretty high probability we are just going for the next one. That's why I really like playing level by level, and this is how I learned to trade, playing level by level, and it proved to be insanely profitable. So for me, as long as we are holding this value area low, there is a pretty high probability for the price to go here at 7.7 and then higher at 8%. So we have some context. We can understand what total is showing us, that it might have a rollover here to 2.22. USDT dominance to pump a little bit from this W that he's making to 7.7 and 8.2. And others, because a lot of people I know they are expecting 5 minutes of altcoins to make some profits. Even me, I'm expecting that. So expecting in a manner that I want it, not expecting in a manner that it should do that. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. But it's showing exactly the context which I was highlighting earlier. I don't see a run in others, in altcoins, without a sweep of all those equal lows in the 78.6. There is the lowest probability ever in my books. Yeah. So if we are taking that in consideration, then you will see that there is a pretty good probability for the market to roll over in the next period. And also now it comes to my mind, because everyone says that sell in May and walk away is not real. I don't know about it. So we spoke about Bitcoin, we spoke about USDT, we spoke about Ethereum, ES, total others, and so on. I think I can go on shitcoins. Let's check my list and maybe I can see anything else. This weekly BNB, it's funny. Okay, let's go on, see what I have. FET, nothing. I'm just waiting for my area to bid at 0.16. I'm still short. I still think market will go there. Hyperliquid, you can see we had a perfect bearish retest on this plan. Who remembers it? Yeah. Anyone remembers this one? With the retest here at 43? And seems like the short limit order at Golden Pocket was hit perfectly. Now it's about the time for this one to roll over. Damn it, come on. Okay. So it passed about 5 days. It passed about 5 days. So we have another setup here. Let's look more. Aster. This one is still on. Hype, it's on. FET, short, it's on. Tau. Well. I think I do have some charts made already. Yeah, there you go. I'm not going to touch this one. I really don't like the look of it. Solana, I played this setups. I don't want to take anything else, honestly. Doge, I have a long, but it's a swing trade. Where the heck is the chart? And I have a, yeah, never mind. But it's a long from around here, 92. Litecoin, still, I think it will dump quite hard. I don't see it going anywhere without retesting 47. Filecoin, quite disappointing, honestly. XPL, I said I'm interested in taking a long only after we revisit 0.077. Bitcoin dominance. I didn't spoke about this one, so look at it. Looking pretty strong, honestly, and this one looks like it wants to break to the upside. I did mention that as long as we hold that 57 previous range low from 2020, there is only upside for this one. And I'm expecting exactly the same pattern which occurred here. And only maybe after that, we'll see the 5 minutes starting to perform on altcoins, right? we might be close, meaning that few months, 6 months, 12 months, and we might see something. Okay, I'm going to go through Twitter X comments and see what do we have there, and if I got any chart request. ENA ICP. I'm going to prioritize first the subscribers, the one who already have a subscription. I have to give back, and I do know I'm giving back a lot of value. ENA USDT. Daily time frame. This one's looking really ugly. But essentially, you can see these ranges are pretty correct. And if I would be to bid anything, I would honestly look for a deeper retracement, not that one to the upside, but this inverse FEG. So 0.08, and here I would look for longs, something like this maybe. I would be looking at this range, value area low. ENA, ICP, all of them you want 12 hours. That's good. That's good. ICP, these equal lows are just too tempting for me. And also this 10 by 10 week. Yeah, 10 by 10 week. There is a very high probability for the price to just go for those areas. I mean, there is a lot of trading volume here at POC and value area high, and nothing here to the downside. So most likely when that will happen, it will be really fast. It will, if you read my articles about volume profiles and what happens on the nodes where there's no liquidity, everything will happen like on the highway. The price will teleport straight through the levels. IOTA USDTP. Okay, let's delete. That's old story. Nothing relevant for the moment. Well, if you take out the bias, because old people when they are trading, and especially the ones who are sitting in a position like when you're long, you want to think that the coin will perform, right? And you'll say, well, okay, I'm in a long on IOTA, then I want IOTA to perform. So you'll be biased thinking that it will perform. But look at this one, lower lows, lower highs, absolutely nothing changed in the structure. Maybe make one more low and then we break this high and we have something like this. And then we can say, okay, we have something, but no, still looking shortable to the downside. How do I join live sessions? What? Oh, it's on. Fartcoin and FET on 4 hours. I think I spoke about FET already. I'm not interested in taking anything else than shorts until we tap 1.66. So even if we go once again around here, I'm going to short. I'm going to short here again. Zero reasons to look for longs here. Absolutely zero reasons. Nothing. Nothing. Main area for longs would be here. 162. This shitcoin. Come on. There you go. Well, I have a long on this shitcoin. If you go on my Twitter and search for the setup, you'll see it was posted Well, nothing I can do. I'm still expecting for the price to revisit the low, maybe sweep one more time, but this is the cost of doing business with shitcoins. Could you please take a look at ZEC 4 hours? Yeah, I saw multiple people speaking about ZEC. Let me chart it a little bit. Man, looks weak. Not even 61.8 retest here. Let's go on 4 hours. Oh, this is a range. I do think it's a bit too late to short here or do anything. If you manage to take something around here, yeah, that's all right. But and then target mid-range or this area. But it's too late to do anything here. If we speak about internal liquidity range, this one has to be traded like that. So nothing to do right now. USDT, I already framed that one. SMH, semiconductor. Holy moly. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, nothing I can do on this one, Menace. Bio, it's interesting. Bio. Bio USDT or bio engineering or anything like that. Well, this is a market maker test of liquidity. Nothing that you want to do business with, only if you're really sharp and you have a system revolved around riding this kind of trades. But I'm looking, for example, here for a retest at 0.02. I don't see too many other requests. ZEC, I already did it. Well, I already spoke about Doge. Let's go back on Bitcoin, see what do we have. Nothing interesting. Well, I don't know about you, but I do think that the plans are made. Everything is in place. Um, if I'm going to calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say 4 setups here on Bitcoin, 1, 2, 3 setups on Ethereum. Yes, I have highlighted two other setups. There's lots of setups already going on right now, and I have highlighted all of them. So I won't take too much of your time anymore. I don't see any other requests on Twitter. Point is, if you want to join Discord, it's not that easy anymore, as you already know. So you can join via Subscord, or you got a chance about 50% chance, let's say 60% if you join the subscription on Twitter. But then, yeah, you'll have to answer the questions and good luck. in regarding to where I'm trading, because a lot of people asked, where are you live trading? Well, that's on a daily basis on VIP. So if you want to see me daily trading, me and Paul, that's live each day, 2 hours a day. I'm live trading in the VIP in Discord. To join, you have to DM me and I have to see if you fit, because there are some questions and things that I want to see before you do anything else. All right. Well, see you on Discord. Today at the New York, in 4 hours from now, it will be for everyone. I do think that Paul will also try to make it on live on Twitter. We'll see, but mainly the Discord is the place to meet and trade and so on. That being said, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next live trading session. Bye bye.